How are we doing? Brian Casey, head coach at Aurora Central Catholic High School in Aurora, Illinois. Talking to you a little bit today on our punt return teams. I've been fortunate enough to be promoted to the head coach here this past January. Previous to this, I was the frost-off head coach and also served the past year as the special teams coordinator. So when we started putting together a staff, we knew that special teams was going to be a very important piece, and we wanted to treat it like that third phase of the game that everyone always used the cliche saying it is. So we certainly take a big piece of our time preparing with special teams. What we've noticed, and we kind of got, and some of this is on me, this past year we got burned a couple times, or I should say one specific time, with a fake punt. What we've done in the past, and what we'll continue to do, is now, after having a chance to hear some coaches, specifically, Grand Valley State, talk about special teams, we've now incorporated some tempos to our punt. Okay, that being, we use 3 different tempos: red, yellow, and green. Okay, red meaning the return, yellow, which is a new one for us, will be our safe return, and green indicating that we're going for the block. That tells our guys going in, they know when they hear that color, here's what we're doing, boom, away we go. The yellow, as I mentioned, was a new one for us because, again, we really didn't take into consideration, hey, the fact that wing, he can and usually will release, and we did get beat with actually an option, with the up back and the punter. And those guys weren't accounted for, and some of that obviously was shame on us going in. So this really opened my eyes a little bit, and it's the one thing when we talked about special teams going forward. I said, hey, the punt, I want to keep this as is. Once I added it into our playbook, and that's the one thing I told our special teams coordinator that I want to keep. Everything else is yours. Make it your baby. The punt team is what I want to keep. What I'm familiar with, and I think we have a great way to be able to teach it. So, what I'll do first, I'll kind of give you our red return, and in that regard, it's actually pretty simple. We don't do a whole lot of I know everyone tries the wall, that type of stuff. Some of the stuff that we found in the past is that we end up. Who gets to the wall, how fast do they get to the wall. At that point in time, that's where you usually end up seeing a lot of your blocks in the back, et cetera, et cetera. We try to keep, we're going to keep our punt return team extremely simple. We number all of our guys. I'll kind of give you, just drawing up your traditional type punt. We number all of our guys, and that way they know they're interchangeable. Okay. Minus the return man, he just goes as that return man. We number them all, and this is actually something that we had done previous, and then, like as I mentioned, hearing Grand Valley State specifically and talking with their coaches a little bit more, I felt we were definitely on the right track. Use a lot of their term. We've now tried. I've started to use a little bit of their terminology to make it simple. But we tell our guys that 1 and 10s, they're interchangeable. So we know that if we have Johnny Superstar here at 1, he goes down. The person who's at 10 may be our best corner. He'll come over here to 1. The third corner will go to 10. So all those guys are interchangeable, as are 2 and 9, 3 and 8, 4 and 7, and 5 and 6. Our 5 and 6 guys will line up roughly 3 yards off the line of scrimmage, with number 6 being responsible for the center. Number 5 will be responsible for the left, our left wing. With that, the return itself, we're not putting ourselves in a situation. Let's start that over as soon as he walks out, because I didn't know where I was going when I saw you moving. I was totally confused. Yeah, I know. All right, we'll pick it up with the 5 and 6.
Okay.
We tell our linebackers, our 5 and 6 guys, that they're about 3 yards off the line. 6 is going to be responsible for the center when he releases after he picks his head up. 5 will be responsible for our left wing. Corners makes it real simple for them. They're locked on. We try to get one shot on the line of scrimmage and maintain inside-out leverage all the way down the field. That's obviously pretty standard what you'll see. In our red return now, we can tag any number that we want, and that will be our lone rusher. Okay, so if we call red 2, we know that our number 2 guy is rushing. He knows that. If we call red 9, 7, 8, so on and so forth. What we tell our front guys is that we want to simulate. We want to tell these 5 offensive linemen that the rush is coming, that we're going to come block the ball. they're going to have to really get after it. We tell our guys to stay wide, okay, on the line of scrimmage. We really want to spread out that punt protection, okay? So our two guy, if that wing is lined up, to kind of draw it a little bit bigger for you, if that wing is lined up here on the outside of that tackle, we tell our two, we really want to get them outside. We want that drop step to be huge, so that way once we do want to go in for that block, it now gives us that opportunity to get upfield and then come underneath and really be able to press that 9 yards, to get to that block zone. Our 2, 3, 4. Let's just call it right now. We're in that red 2, so we're going to have our 2 as the lone rusher. Our 3, 4, 7, 8, 9 guys, they're going to be responsible. They're going to pick their man, the man across from them. They're going to get in that trail technique. But before we do that, we're going to tell them we want to get 3 hard steps upfield. We want to engage. Okay, we want to engage into their jerseys, grab the cloth, and drive them back to the punter. That was a technique that we actually heard this past clinic, one of the clinics up here in Chicago. Was what'll end up happening. It'll almost look like a block on film, and what you'll end up doing is getting those guys so far deep that prohibits them from getting 25, 30 yards downfield to make a play on the returner. So what we'll do is if we call our 2 guys, the return guy, he'll get upfield and he'll get in towards the block zone. Same deal now here. We're going to work with 3, 4, 7, and 8. They're going to get those 3 yards and drive that guy into the backfield. Now what they're going to be responsible for is that trail technique. Okay? We tell our guys when we're blocking, when we're trailing down the field, we're not looking for a big hit. Okay? What happens most times, okay, you got referees, one's looking to make sure no one touches the punter, one's looking to make sure no one's holding on the outside, one's in here to make sure the center's okay. You really don't have anyone specifically looking at blocks in the back and that kind of stuff. So what happens, you see a huge block where the helmet goes flying somewhere back here, immediately the referee says that must have been a clip, there goes the flag. We tell our guys, we go away, the big block is not a block. We tell these guys, get those 3 hard steps, get upfield, okay? And now we get into our trail technique, if you will. Trail technique is what we'll end up calling. It'll be 1 yard out, 1 yard behind, 1 yard in the inside of your lineman across from you, and obviously the center now is responsible with 6, and then 5 over here. If that kind of makes any sense at all. The only guy that's unaccounted for, obviously, would be the wing. But then again, we have 9 there who's not in the rush. He's accounted for as well. Now you got the up back and the personal protector are your 2. And once 2, if he does not get to the block, he's then responsible for the personal protector. We tell those guys, again, when that right guard is heading down the field, we do not want a big block on him. We almost tell our guys to run down, throw their hands up, and just, if nothing else, we actually work during special teams time on the basketball, the old basketball drill of shuffling your feet back and forth. That's the kind of block we want. Again, if a guy's going to make a turn and make a play and he runs right into us, that's the right guard's problem. That's not ours. The big thing that we don't have to worry about setting up walls is we tell our return guy that we want to return the ball to where it was kicked from. What that means is if this is the right hash, okay, and he ends up kicking it to the sideline, okay, and let's say the returner catches the ball somewhere in that area, we tell the returner his number 1 job is to return the ball to the middle of the field, or return the ball to wherever that ball was kicked. That makes sure now all these guys, we're right where we need to be. Okay, the center's obviously probably going to free release. These guys are all going to fan out. Now the ball's back where it is. If the ball's kicked over here, what's happening? Probably all that fanning is going to be done in this area of the field. Now we're back to where the ball was. His job, we tell him, our goal is to get 10 yards. We want to get a first down every punt return. We will break one, and his job is to beat the punter. And if he can't do that, then we'll find a new cat to run around back there. But that's the big thing that we talked about when we talk about our red return. Did have some success with it last year, and we think this year with being able to tweak some of the stuff between the stuff that we heard at some clinics, as well as some of the athletes we know we'll have back this year. We think we'll be able to have some more success with it. And be able to go from there. So that's our red return. Really, we talk green. Green is really our our block. You can draw up. That's the beauty of coaching is everyone can draw up their own crazy stuff, and we have different stuff where we'll send them all. We'll do some Texas stunts in there, flipping guys all over the place. The big thing that we tell our guys is that if we block a punt, if it's behind the line of scrimmage, man, scoop and score. It doesn't matter where the ball is at. I don't care if you're a 300-pound lineman or you're a 150-pound corner that never sees the field. You pick that ball up and you run with it. Worst case scenario is you're going to get the ball right where it's at. If it goes beyond the line of scrimmage, get the heck away from it. And then our yellows are safe. Our yellows are safe return, which is one of the new things that we put in. Obviously, 1 and 10 are still responsible for their guys here. 5 and 6 become responsible for the personal protector. Okay, 5 becomes responsible for the personal protector. 6 responsible for the punter. Our 3 and 8 guys will actually drop off, okay, into more like a hook to curl flat type zone. Okay, and they'll be responsible for that zone, looking to keep inside leverage on the 2 wings that can release. And then a return guy, he reads fake. Now he comes up and plays more of a safety. So that's one piece that we never had. And it makes a whole lot of sense now, taking a step back from it. We never had that. We did get beat on that. And then having a chance to sit in on some special teams clinics, made a whole lot of sense. I liked what I heard. The old saying is, as a football coach, you're always a pirate. And so stole that from Grand Valley State. Made a little bit of tweaks to it, and that now is our punt return. And pretty looking forward to the opportunity to being able to put some of that to work come this fall. So hope you got something out of it. If you have any questions, you can visit Aurora Central Catholic. www.auroracentral.com. Link to my email address, and we can go from there. But appreciate the time, and have a great day.
Ready?